Hello, and welcome to Around the Political World with John Ruffman. I am your host, John Ruffman. If you're a fan of the show, make sure to hit the follow button on the top right of Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you are listening at this very moment. When you hit follow, leave a review or share an episode with a friend. It helps other people discover the show, keeps us going. As I like to remind you each and every day, it expands our base. There are several topics which we need to discuss this morning. First and foremost, the Israeli attack on Iran. Let's make this clear. This was not an unprovoked attack. Israel has warned Iran, and the world has warned Iran, that if they continue their nuclear pursuits, there will be a response. The Israelis, who understand that their very survival is at stake, has said enough is enough. Iran is on the verge of having the ability to make a nuclear bomb. Iran is defying the United Nations, as the IAEA has indicated. And so the Israelis struck, and they struck hard, and they struck effectively. Oh, yes, the Israelis are out for their own national survival. They are not going to risk anything in terms of Israel's survival. And let me be crystal clear. There is no doubt that Iran, which doesn't refer to Israel as Israel, but calls it the Zionist entity, and which has said that Zionist entity is a cancer in the Middle East, that nature of what Iran is saying and doing presents a real concern. And so the Israelis, acting on the diktat of Menachem Begin, the former prime minister, made it clear, and I quote Mr. Begin now: Israel will survive. We are not a vassal state. We are not a banana republic. And that, to me, is what is critical. The Israelis struck out in their own national interest, and it's not over. We know it isn't over. But let's take it a step further. There are those in the administration who support Israel, and there are those who oppose what the Israelis have done. The Trump world position is clearly defined by the president, who says he supports Israel, but there are voices of dissent. And in the Democratic Party, overwhelmingly the Democratic Party supports Israel and its right to exist. But yes, within the Democratic Party, there are those who oppose what Israel has done. Let's make clear that overwhelmingly the American people support Israel's right to defend itself and Israel's right to exist. The fact that there are dissenters in both the Republican and Democratic parties is not a bad thing. It's good to have a solid national debate. We are lucky, I must tell you, that the Israelis are determined to survive. They are not going to give in. The Israeli strike was daring and bold. Whether or not it crippled the entire nuclear program or only a part of it, we don't yet know. What we do know is that leading generals, people who were involved in terror attacks against Israel, including the head of the Iranian Guard and others, including scientists who've worked on the nuclear program, are out. This is a major blow to the Revolutionary Guard in Iran, and it's a good thing because they are a dangerous, dangerous force. So the Israelis have acted, and now there will be a reaction, because for every action, there is a reaction. And so we wait in the days ahead to see what Iran will do. We also wait to see how the world will react. And I must tell you, I am waiting with anticipation to see the outcome of this bold move by the Israelis. Personally, I'm glad the Israelis did what they did. It's enough. And Iran's actions demonstrate every single day that they are incapable of arriving at a peaceful resolution of this crisis. We hope that out of the disaster which has now struck Iran, a disaster, I would point out, of their own making, that there will be a change in Iranian policy. Now let's shift, if we can, to the United States of America. In Judge Breyer's courtroom yesterday, the judge said very simply this: the president is not above the law. And we are now waiting to see what will happen in terms of the standoff between the president and the courts. There's a long way to go in this battle, but it is, and I really believe with all my heart, a battle for the future of American democracy. And let me say that Judge Breyer struck a major blow in defense of America and freedom. He is a man of tremendous integrity, and what he did yesterday, well, it's a heck of a legacy. Judge Breyer, 3 cheers for you. And now let's turn to the military parade, which is going to take place in Washington tomorrow. This is Donald Trump's tribute to the military, to the Army, which is fine. I support supporting the Army. But do you believe that on the 350th anniversary of the Army, there should be a military parade in Washington, D.C.? And let me tell you, this is unprecedented. Dwight D. Eisenhower once said, "We don't need this kind of demonstration of military power. Let's leave it to the Soviet Union in Red Square." And he was right. There is another factor which needs to be understood. All of this intermingles on Donald Trump's 79th birthday. All of this intermingles with the opposition to Donald Trump. It is not a demonstration against the Army. It is a demonstration against Donald Trump. And we know that across this country, there will be protests, and they will take place, and they will be effective. Donald Trump has said, if these protests take place, he will, well, he says, he will battle back, that they will not be permitted to disrupt his special day. My answer to Donald Trump is, you live in a democracy. You are an elected president. You are not a dictator. And it seems to me that this is another essential element in everything that is going on this weekend. We know that in addition to everything else, Donald Trump is determined to pursue his policy. And now we have to wait and see what the Republicans in the House and in the Senate will do. Will they support Donald Trump, or will they stand for America? And that, to me, is the fundamental issue today. So this weekend, we are going to celebrate Flag Day. That's right, Flag Day is also tomorrow, because we who love this country and believe in the democratic system are glad to see protesters in the streets, and are glad to see our allies fighting back, and are glad to see that in the face of imminent danger, a nation like Israel, America's ally, stands up and is counted. These are exciting times, and there will be much happening in the next few days. And I, of course, will be back here on Monday, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see how it all develops. And I know you agree with me. These are certainly difficult, stimulating, fascinating times. And we'll be following it right here on Around the Political World with John Rothman. Thanks for tuning into another episode of Around the Political World. I am John Rothman. Make sure to follow along and let me know your thoughts on the show by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts and sharing an episode with a friend or colleague so we can continue to grow and expand. Of course, you can interact with me on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and of course, many of you email me, and even some of you, well, you call me, and I'm glad to have your comments. And I want to say a special word of thanks to Gogo Zoger, the wonderful producer of this podcast, who makes everything happen every single day. Gogo, thank you. And to all of you, have a great Flag Day. Have a wonderful weekend. Let's see what happens on Monday. And I must tell you, I can't wait to be right here with you on Around the Political World with John Rothman. See you then.